legitimately, where do the Lakers need to seed in the West for the easiest path to get to the championships? And I'm going to ask the same question about Boston because those are the two storied franchises.
Right.
So we're looking at the West and we're looking at the East.
Right.
But we'll start with the Lakers.
I think the 2 seed.
The 2 seed.
I think the fact that if they can get the 2 seed and avoid playing OKC until the finals, which means they have more experience, way more experience than OKC at that particular time. OKC hasn't really got to that point yet, but we see that they're obviously, going upward. I think would be the easiest pass. And what I just said earlier, ain't no easy passes.
Not in the West.
Ain't no easy path to the Western Conference Finals or to the NBA championship game or series in the West. Yeah. It's just going to be hard because no matter what, if they're the 2 seed, they're playing the 7 seed, right?
Yeah.
That ain't going to be no joke. Whoever that might be right now, and that's going to probably change as we go on. That could be.
It could very well be Golden State.
Yeah.
It could be the Warriors, Clippers, Timberwolves,
it could be the Clippers.
Kings,
yeah.
Suns.
It's a bunch of teams that are Golden State's balling.
Yes.
Minnesota's balling.
Minnesota could possibly be
You know what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of teams that are balling. The Clippers just beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
So they're a team that can be very dangerous. So it's not going to be no easy path whatsoever. But I don't think you want to fall to the 3 spot where you have to go through Denver. You have to then go through OKC and stuff like that. It just makes it that much harder.
Well, they very well, even at the 2 seed, depending on where the Nuggets fall, Denver Nuggets fall, they could see them in the second round.
They could.
That's the next question. Do the Lakers want to see Denver again, who has knocked them out?
Right.
2 of the last 3 years?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. I think this Laker team now feels,
this is the one.
Feels we can beat them.
Okay.
And they've proven it the last 2 out of 3 games that they've played them, right? With Luka now coming on board, I think this Laker team feels that, number one, I don't think they fear anybody in the West. That's number one. But number 2, I think they feel now that they're better equipped to handle Denver than they have been in the past. And I think right now they have so much confidence in the way they're playing the game of basketball. They win 8 straight when Luka gets here. They lose 4 in a row. They come back home. And I know we as media people, and I was doing the Spectrum game with James Worthy, and we talked about, okay, that Phoenix and San Antonio are going to be pivotal games for those guys. They got to win at least one. Well, they won both.
Yeah, they got them both.
Right, and then we said they got to play Denver, and then they got to play Milwaukee, and they got to win 1 or 2 of those. Well, they just beat Denver again. So I think this team right now has so much confidence in the way they're playing that they feel they can beat anybody.
And I'm going to add one more nugget to that. I think they've won 8 or 9 home straight games.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lakers are going to be better on home court this year. So that number 2 spot is very pivotal for this squad.
Yep.
Okay, West. We're just talking to West. We'll go to East in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, who you got coming out of the West?
Man.
Today.
Everything considered equal. Everybody's healthy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got the Lakers.
You got the Lakers. I love that.
I do. I got the Lakers. Healthy, LeBron back. The groin is completely, I won't say completely, but 90% healed.
Well, he had that same groin injury.
I know.
A few years ago.
I know.
And didn't make it back.
I know. That's why I'm so happy with the way they're playing right now, because that means you can give him extra rest to make sure this thing is completely healed when the playoffs start. You know what I mean? So Lakers completely healthy with LeBron playing at that high level, the way Austin Reeves is playing. The guy that I think is vital for them is Jackson Hayes.
Oh, he's playing out of his mind.
I think he's vital for them because he sets great screens, he rolls, he creates havoc on the offensive end, because you have to either bump him or switch with him or something, and then he's on the offensive board. So I like what they've been doing all season long, but especially since this trade. So I'm going to go with the Lakers.
Talk about Jackson Hayes being in the perfect situation.
Man, you talking about a brother that should be like, man, Rob Pelinka, thank you so much, dog. Every time he see Rob, he should be giving him a hug.
Him to dinner.
He should be giving him a hug every time he see him.
Buying his kids gifts.
Yeah,
hey, Rob, I got something for you.
I got something for you. What's this for? For no reason.
Just because.
Just because. Exactly. Because, again, like you said, you trade away AD. You bring in Luka. You throw him in that starting spot. And all he has to do is set great screens and roll to the basket.
And he's doing it phenomenally.
And he does a great job. And he's so athletic. I mean, he gets up and down the floor. On the defensive end, he's a presence.
Yeah.
Which is what you need. He's a presence. But, I mean, man, when you got LeBron and Luka, and you set and pick, and throw in there Austin, because he does a good job of throwing lobs to him as well, you just put the defense in such turmoil because they have no idea what to take away.
And the rotation.
And rotation.
And
Once they get out of rotation.
He's already up in the air before the rotation even comes over.
Yeah, he's already up. So, and most of the time when the rotation guy is coming, it's a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Mm-hmm. He's 6'10", 6'11", and he's jumping out the gym. Yeah, he can't meet him up there.
Yeah.
So it's too late. Yeah. So, I love what he's been able to do with the team this year. And, you got two guys that have elevated his game to a different level.
You heard it. Byron Scott's pick coming out the West is the Lakers,
LA.
if healthy.
Purple and gold, baby.
If healthy. Let's talk about the East.
Yeah.
The Celtics. We'll start with the Celtics, NBA champions. Mm-hmm. We don't like that. We do not like that. Everybody said there's just no way anybody in the East could beat the Celtics earlier this year. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have proven that wrong. A lot of teams have beaten them, including the East leading Cavaliers, Cleveland, which I called the dark horse earlier in the season, before the season started, because of what they did last year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I believe Cleveland has a chance to possibly take on Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals and push it all the way to the end.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I really do. I think watching them play Boston in Boston last week or a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever the case may be.
They were down.
Down big.
17?
Yeah,
13,
down
15,
big.
13?
Yeah, down big and came back and won that game in Boston. Right there, to me, solidified the fact that they now feel that they can beat them. Mm-hmm. And Boston got the championship pedigree. They got the trophy and all that good stuff, which is great. I think Boston has been really missing Drew Holiday because he is one of the best defensive perimeter defenders in the NBA, and they miss him. So when he's back, obviously they're going to be a better basketball team. Boy, you're going to be shocked because I'm picking Cleveland to be in the finals.
You are picking Cleveland?
I'm picking Cleveland to be in the finals.
Officially?
Officially. Lakers and Cleveland. I got them in the finals.
Wow, you heard that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Boston and Denver or something. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm just saying. But my wish, I guess, is I want the Lakers against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals.
Do you know what storyline that would write?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
If LeBron
coming back home,
going to Cleveland and winning as a Laker, where he's won a title before, that would be an incredible storyline.
NBA would love that.
I like that matchup as well, and that's the matchup I would like to see.
But
I just don't know.
I love that.
Today, early April, I just don't know. Just because I've seen championship pedigree teams.
Oh, yeah.
They know when to turn it on. I've been a part of those teams. I'm part of 5 NBA championships.
Yeah.
I've seen a team that's going 4th or 5th in the West just dominate in the playoffs. I was part of a team that has the best playoff record ever, went 15-1 in the whole NBA playoffs.
Yeah,
Lakers.
I remember.
The only loss was to Philadelphia for game 1.
Yeah, I remember.
Allen Iverson stepping over Ty Lue. I'm in that photo, by the way.
Yeah, I saw you two sitting on the bench right there.
I've seen it happen. So my mind tells me Denver has that pedigree in the West. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Boston has that pedigree in the East.
So that's what you're saying? You're going with Boston and Denver?
I'm not going with that.
You said pedigree, both of them?
Both of them. I'm afraid that mentality could elevate them in the playoffs on both sides, the East and West.
Okay.
But my gut is telling me it's going to be Lakers and Cleveland.
Okay. I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind.
We're going to have another show
in a month or so. I'm just saying. I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind in a month, just in case, because it might be injuries or something. I'm just saying.
Okay, so what lower seed teams are we missing in the East and or the West that could possibly bump off these 4 teams we've talked about? Because basically we've talked about 4 teams.
Right.
Lakers, Boston, Denver, Cleveland.
Right.
We feel that combination of them 4 teams will possibly be in the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. What lower seed teams should we be looking at?
When you say lower seed, we're talking about 5th seed on down or 6th seed on down. So I'm going to say in the West, Clippers and Minnesota.
Clippers and Minnesota.
I think those 2 teams you got to worry about because you already mentioned it. The Clippers do have a guy on there that's won a couple of championships. Yes, so he has that pedigree. His problem is staying healthy, right? So
is he going to be there?
In that too. I mean, that's the other thing. So if Kawhi Leonard is all bought in and Kawhi Leonard is healthy, the Clippers can beat anybody. They can. They can beat anybody. Can they beat them in a 7-game series? That's going to be the icing on the cake. We'll see if they can do that. Minnesota has proven that they can play with anybody in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards comes to life. You know,
on the big stage.
Comes to life on the big stage. And he's an old school mentality type player. You know, he's got the new Jack City attitude, but he's an old school guy where he wants to play every game. You know, he's one of those guys. He has that mentality. So those two teams, and with Minnesota, the way they play defense, the Clippers, the way they play defense, the Clippers have another plus who's not there right now in Ty Lue, one of the best coaches in the league. You know, so they have a lot of pluses. Minnesota, I think too, because they got star power and they got guys on the defensive end that can guard you. You know, Jobert back there blocking shots, and if he ain't blocking them, he's changing them. You know, so he's a presence.
And so they were there last year in the Western Conference Finals. They lost to Dallas.
Yeah, they were there. So I think that's another team. And right now, as of today, they've been playing lights out the last 8-9 games. You know, so they're revving it up. You know, so I think for me in the West, those two teams can be scary. Okay, gotcha. And I think the West has more teams that can be scary than the East does. But when you look in the East, I would say the one team, I say New York.
Brunson hobbling.
Yeah, but if he's healthy, again, if Bronson's healthy and you got Cat, they got a chance. You know, they got a chance because Bronson, we already know, man, you know, playoff time.
He's a pit bull.
He is a pit bull.
Yes, he is.
The only problem with Cat is he's a cat.
You got a pit bull and a cat.
You got a pit bull and a cat. Now, hopefully they grew up together because you know what a pit bull would do to a cat. But, I mean, if Cat was a dog, man, oh, my God, it'd be a different story. But Cat got game. Cap is, hey, this man can score, in the post, mid-post, three-point range. I mean, he's got game. So he helps New York get to a different level. So I'm going to take Indiana out of that because I just don't think they're what they used to be. Last couple, not Minnesota, but Milwaukee, because of their pedigree in winning championships. We know Giannis, the freak, is just one of those guys that's going to come with it every single night.
They've been on a losing streak lately, though.
Yeah, I know, but they got time.
Okay.
They got time. But New York, those two teams I wouldn't really want to face in the Eastern Conference.
Can I throw a young team in there that might be scary?
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I was about to say. I said he either going to throw in Detroit on the East or Houston on the West. It's one of those two.
I don't think Houston's ready. But there's something about this Detroit team. They're coached very well. They have a star, Cade Cunningham.
Yes, they do.
Who will be probably a top 5 player within the next year or two. They're hungry. They don't know what it's like to win, and they're going out there right now and just balling. Those are scary teams.
When a team like Detroit and JB Bickerstaff, who's done an unbelievable job, right now I would think he would be coach of the year. To me, he would be coach of the year. And that's
not the Lakers coach, JJ Redick?
That's not taking away anything from JJ. That's not taking anything away from what's my boy at Houston, who's done Udoka.
Yeah.
Those guys have done unbelievable jobs. But when you win 14 games last year and you find yourself in the 6th spot the next year, and they've already won 23, 24 games more than they did last year, and we're still not done.
Yeah.
So they can improve on where they are in the standings in the Eastern Conference right now. And obviously they can drop as well. But the Detroit Pistons are scary because, like you said, they young, they hungry, and they don't know no better.
Yeah.
They don't know they ain't supposed to be there.
They just going out there and hooping.
They just going out there and hooping. That's the fear of playing teams like that because they got nothing to lose. They got no fear whatsoever. And they're going to go out there and just play hard. And they're going to play fancy-free and loose and just enjoy each other. And you're going to have to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to beat them. So that's a scary team. You're right. The Detroit Pistons are scary.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.